Alright, now let's talk about how to conduct the user test. Often people postpone or avoid conducting user tests because it just seems like too much work. It seems like you need a usability lab with sophisticated equipment, you need recording devices and stuff like that. The more you think that you need these details and you plan to do it with them, the chances are very less that you'll actually do the user test. So at Parallel, we use a no-frills approach to conduct user tests, which is where can you conduct these tests using a very basic setup that you already might have. Maybe a laptop, a video conferencing software, a webcam, maybe a microphone. We follow the process recommended by Google Ventures, which is called the 5-act interview. What this process does is it simplifies how you need to go about a user test into 5 very simple steps that you can follow. So the first step is friendly welcome. The idea of this first act is to really get them comfortable and start sharing unbiased insights about how they perceive this product with you. So make sure that they're really comfortable, make a personal connect, crack a joke, talk about the weather, whatever it takes to get them to be comfortable and open up. The idea of doing this well is that this helps them really open up. Talking to somebody about their personal experiences, their life, their preferences is something that could be really personal, which people might hold back. So that's what you do in the friendly welcome. Second act is called context questions. Before you show them the prototype, which you might be very tempted to, just hold on for a bit longer and make sure you ask them certain context questions which will help you profile the user better. You'll get to know who they are, what their general preferences are, which will help you understand the tests or observations that come out from the test much better. Sometimes we end up going down the rabbit hole of making it into an interview versus just trying to get some context. You need to be careful that you're just asking enough for you to get some context and profile the user rather than going into real details. Let me give you an example. If you're trying to design a travel app and you want to ask them, where do you book your tickets? And they say, I do it on Expedia for blah, blah, blah. That's very relevant information for you. The idea is for you to just get enough information to profile this user on what they do, their habits, their preferences, and then quickly move on to showing the actual prototype and getting them to play with it. So the third act is introducing the prototype. It's the most exciting part when users actually get to see the prototype and start playing with it. You might need to set the context of what a prototype is. It's something that it might have some broken links, it might have some things that work, it might have some things that don't work. Remind them again, we are testing the prototype and not them.
We're not testing you, so feel free to play around with the design.
You can tell them that you value the negatives way more than positive. It's the negatives in the user test that will help you make the product better. Another very important thing in this step is to get the users to think out aloud. It's a mental switch that you need to help them make, where you need to really ease them into speaking out aloud whatever is coming in their mind while they're looking at the prototype. The fourth act is tasks and nudges. Now, when you've already introduced the prototype and set some context around how the tests are going to run, you need to give them some nudges around the different aspects of the prototype that they can navigate to. You can tell them, maybe you can click this button and see what happens, sign up for a free trial, anything that helps them get started and explore a particular journey. Give prompts to them if they hit dead ends, which is very likely to happen. You need to just guide them to come back, start over, just nudge a little bit here and there wherever they get stuck. One really cool trick you can use to get more insights from users is to use incomplete statements. Let's say it's a travel app where they're trying to book a flight. You can say something like, to find really cool offers, you can, and then pause. Why don't you try and find out? And that will give a nudge to user to navigate and figure out where they can get that information. And there you can observe and see how they're reacting to the prototype and how they're finding information. So the fifth step is a quick debrief. Now when they've gone through the entire prototype and pretty much given you their insights or observations across it, it's time to do a quick debrief where you walk them through what they said, what are the things they really liked, where they got stuck, what they did not like. And after that, you can ask them if there's anything else that they really want to share as an open-ended question. Try avoiding questions which are more survey type. Asking a question like NPS, would you recommend it to a friend, would you buy? Typically, these questions don't yield any valuable, unbiased insights. So try avoiding them. You should derive those insights based on the questions that you've asked them so far. Lastly, make them feel that their insights were really valuable for you and thank them for their time. If you have incentivized them, tell them that they might be getting their reward very soon for their time. So make sure that they're really comfortable, ask them certain context questions, get the users to think out aloud. You need to give them some nudges around the different aspects of the prototype that they can navigate to. Ask them if there's anything else that they really want to share. If you have any questions around product design, user testing, or anything that you would like us to talk about, do let us know in your comments.